when we first started this thing and I first met Hakan Torre, Hakan has a plan, and he's very matter of fact, very strong, very knowledgeable, has an incredible background. And when Micah was interviewing him on one of the first 2 interviews, Micah asked him about, regarding exchanges, where we could land, and Hawkins said, we're definitely going to be one of the top 3, but our target is number 1. And when I looked at Binance initially and the volume that they were doing, I was like, wow, yeah, that's a great target to have. Is it possible to supplant them? Yeah, but I didn't think about it in the mannerism that you just phrased. And my thought process yesterday, without even reading that stuff, was, well, we know that FTX disappeared. We know that Voyage has disappeared. Wonder if Binance could disappear.
Gemini's in trouble.
Yeah, Gemini. So what's happening right now, there's a plan and they're going after it. And the guys that were operating in the gray area, they're looking for those gray areas and they're looking to dig it up and they're looking to crush them. We don't operate in the gray area. We operate within the regulations. We're in alignment with what needs to be done. And so we have, the chance, we have the possibility, and we believe that we're going to do it. We're going to rise to the top. We're going to rise to the top. So as a big statement, that's a big statement. So for everybody who's here, if you're listening live or in person, welcome. Our incredible Director of Operations, Melanie Anderson, has put together a new slide presentation for us that we could fly through pretty quick. Matter of fact, from the time that I start the presentation, I will be done within 20 minutes. I promise you that. We'll be done within 20 minutes. But I think that this little stuff that we talked about before, and I'd love to come on at the end, Carlos. I'd love to continue this afterwards for those of you that just want to stick around and hear some dudes. I'll call myself old. I'm not going to call Carlos old. But some of us old dudes that are in this thing are like, okay, we got something here that can. So I'm going to tell one story before we get started. For years and years and years and years, you and I have studied and read. I see Cecilia's in the room. She's an amazing, accomplished individual. And for those of us that believe in personally growing, right, working on ourselves, learning from others, standing on the shoulders of giants. We've kind of all, heard the names and have gone through some type of trainings. And whether you're talking about Zig Ziglar or Tony Robbins, who I was just listening to, and just incredible value that we could learn and always go back to the lessons that we've learned in the past and look forward to the lessons we're going to learn in the future. But we are right in the right place at the right time. And everything that we do in life gives us more experience. Wisdom is created. And so, I look at it from a standpoint as not only is the best yet to come, but I love to look at some of the success stories that, were prolific, not only in their 60s, 70s, but 80s. When you look at some of the coaches in college football, like Joe Paterno, coaching in his 80s, to me, that was always an admiration. Zig Ziglar, Zig said, I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to let up. I'm not going to give up until I'm taken up. He said, nowhere in the Bible is there a word called retirement. The word retire is not anywhere in the Bible. So, I kind of look at life that way. Well, my not that it's a fear of mine, it's just one of those things that I will never be, and that is a couch potato that all you do is sit in front of it. And I've seen it happen. I've seen men's minds go to mush because they retired, they lost their identity, and just sat on a couch watching TV all day. Never, 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 never. I'll take a baseball bat to the TV before I let that happen. We could be productive our entire, so long as we have our wits about us, so long as we have our health about us, we could help in one form or fashion others. And that is my desire till the day I die, to be helping people. And so Zig's philosophy, you could have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. Man, I love that. I love being a teacher. I've taught school. Not only was I a firefighter, but I taught school. And I love kids. I love really getting people to see things that they didn't realize before. You know, just learn a little something. And here, you know, we get to work with and coach adults and help people achieve and set goals and dream. And for some people, it's almost a resurrection in life, where they gave up on dreams and now they see something like we're going to talk about here, and all of a sudden they reignite dreams that they've buried in the past. And I love to see that. So we're going to kind of do that in this presentation. And the one story that I was alluding to the whole time was, you know, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders. You know, as the story goes, and I don't know the exact, you know, correct, so I don't want to say like I know exactly what happened, but my understanding is, you know, he retired, got his first Social Security check, looked at it and said, "That's it. I worked my whole life for that." And then he created the great Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise. Can you imagine that? It didn't start until after he retired. So wherever you are in your life, we're going to show you something that could make a monumental difference in your life. So let's go right into the presentation. I promised 20 minutes or less. So I'm looking at the clock. You could start the clock right now. I'm going to move, and I'm going to move fast, and then we'll come back later on. We're going to watch a little video, and we're going to kind of set it straight. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about Cashflow NFT. That is the company that is bringing to market Miracle Cash&More and aggressively marketing it. With Cashflow NFT, our NFTs pay. We're going to show you an NFT called a Boogie Gopher, and that Boogie Gopher, Boogie G, is going to become world renowned and world famous. And people are going to be, I don't want to say people are going to be jealous of those of us who have it, but people are going to be wishful that they heard about Boogie G and Cashflow NFT and Miracle Cash&More when it first got started, like we are right now. Miracle Cash&More is an incredible company that Cashflow NFT markets. And we're offering you the opportunity to get on the ground floor of a rapidly growing company and to benefit from all the future success that we're going to talk about here with Miracle Cash&More. Cashflow NFT, our NFTs pay. So what is Cashflow NFT? Cashflow NFT is a company that acquires and tokenizes assets. We work on behalf of the people who choose to purchase our membership, finding powerful and profitable companies or real estate, and then we purchase those opportunities and tokenize them. We tie that opportunity into a non-fungible token, an NFT, to the asset via a trust. And tokenization is simply the process of converting a tangible or intangible asset into a digital token that serves as a proxy of it, meaning a representation of it. So what we're talking about here is the blockchain. We're talking about cryptocurrency. We're talking about a token that has computer code that's on the blockchain and can be tied to assets, a digital asset that actually can produce a revenue stream. And we're going to look at that. We're going to look at delivery channels. We're going to talk about in tokenization, tokenizing these real world tangible assets makes buying, selling, and trading them more efficient while reducing the probability of fraud. We have a cross-company deal where Cashflow NFT signed the deal with Miracle Cash&More. Cashflow NFT gets 75% of the revenue, and Cashflow NFT tokenizes 50% of their earnings with the marketing revenue with 1,488 United Kingdom membership. So we're going to be talking about the UK. We're going to be talking about a master franchise agreement that 1,488 of these memberships share in that revenue, 50% of what Cashflow NFT earns, and the cost for the membership is just $5,000. So take a look at this picture. It speaks volumes. There's a great little video that we have, and you're going to see more stuff emerging. We just got a video today of a new store that's been designed in Germany. We're opening up Berlin, Germany, but there's another story in I think it's pronounced Kern, Kohn, Germany. We'll be opening up that store also. And so we're going to talk about Miracle Cash and More and where we're developing. The one you're looking at on the screen is our first flagship store in Amsterdam, which is in the Netherlands. And this company has been put together and worked on for 6 years. And in 2017, it was founded. In 2020, became operational with the stores in Northern Cyprus. And when I first looked at this personally, it was back in July, and I spoke to Ray Vidrio, a friend of mine that we've known each other for over 15 years, and he started telling me this story. He said, Ed, do you have 5 minutes just for me to bring you up to speed? I said, sure. And he said, well, Micah Thayer, who, by the way, is the founder of Cashflow NFT, and I started the Crypto Wealth Society years back. And every Saturday we get together with people and we analyze the cryptocurrency arena. We help people actually get into it, maybe purchase their first cryptocurrency, get them onboarded into the space. And we look at different projects, and some of them we operate in, some of them we lose money in, some of them we make money in, some of them we hit home runs in. And he said last year, Micah became a cryptocurrency millionaire. He went out to Northern Cyprus, bought a beautiful condo overlooking the Mediterranean, and he bought it with Bitcoin. And the gentleman that he met through that transaction is a guy named Hakan Torin, who's got this project where he's putting crypto on the streets, has an aggressive plan to roll it out all over the world, and also has a plan with an exit strategy that we'll touch on later. But these are brick and mortar stores, like an Apple store, brick and mortar cryptocurrency on the street. And as soon as he said that to me, a light bulb went off, because I've been in crypto since 2016. I've been pitched on crypto since 2012. I reluctantly have to say, I said, no, 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 from 2012 to 2015. And then 2016, a former owner of a company that I worked with was launching a new company, and he was coming out with his own cryptocurrency and building a blockchain and actually with mining rigs and the whole 9 yards. And I said to him, Richard, I have no idea. Everything I've looked at this, I don't get it. He says, well, I'm going to send you this white paper, and I'll send you a podcast to listen to. Got the white paper, listened to the podcast, and on the podcast being interviewed was a gentleman named Tika Tiwari. If you know who Tika Tiwari is, you know who Tika Tiwari is. In my opinion, Tika Tiwari is the foremost authority on cryptocurrency in the world, and he comes with a background in the industry of stock. He was a Shearson Lehman at 18 years of age, became the youngest broker, moved up to vice president very quickly, owned his own hedge fund, his clientele of billionaires. And he just wanted to make things simple, because he, like me, said, you know, cryptocurrency was a fraud. He says it doesn't make any sense. It's a pyramid scheme. And then when he saw the whole industry collapse for the first time, when he saw Bitcoin collapse for the first time, he scratched his head and said, you know, when something fraudulent goes under, it goes out, everybody loses their money, but it was still around. And although the price went down, it was still there and people still owned it. And so he started investigating it, and the light bulb went off in his head. And then he did a deep dive research. Now he has, you know, a publication. He has incredible offerings. He travels the world with the top billionaires in crypto, and he reports on it. So he's a mentor of mine. And based on what I heard back then, I saw the future. And once you see the future, you can't unsee it. Once you see that cryptocurrency is the future, the way in which people are going to be utilizing for all the right reasons, it's efficient, it's fast, it's on the blockchain, it's an immutable ledger, it's totally transparent. You know, you could move money from one location in the world to another location in the world without going through all the middlemen hands. And so when I came home from my time spent in Utah, I was actually working out there with the company, and I would come home and meet my friends, and they would say, yeah, but Ed, it's, you know, how do you say it's a currency when everywhere we go, I don't see anybody accepting it as a way to pay for goods and services? And I said, you know what, you're right. The technology just didn't get developed, but it's coming. The blockchain is the future, I'm telling you. You know, and we started quoting and looking at things. Bloomberg, I saw, you know, interviewed back then in 2016 on CNN, and, you know, Bloomberg was asked the question, you know, is Bitcoin, you know, really a currency? And he said, well, I don't know about that. What I do know is the technology behind it, the blockchain, is real. Matter of fact, Bloomberg is on the blockchain. Man, when I heard him say that, I'm like, oh my goodness. Then I started seeing what was being done, at Goldman Sachs and being done at JP Morgan, and institutionalized, ways to bring their customers into the cryptocurrency space. And we saw the cryptocurrency in 2021, Bitcoin became the first $1 trillion coin with $1 trillion market cap. The industry grew to 3 trillion. And then, those who are really touting it, we're talking about how this is going to be a 10 trillion, a $20 trillion industry. And I understood it, but it wasn't ready to go. So when Ray said to me, we're going to have these stores on the street, crypto on the street, I knew there's a huge need for this. And there's a need for the technology that you're about to see that people are going to engage with and get into the crypto space. Right now, worldwide, 3 to 5% of the world is engaged in crypto. 95% is not. In the next several years to come, it's going to be like when nobody had a computer and now everybody has one. When nobody had a smartphone and now everybody has one. It's a breakthrough technology that everybody's going to be utilizing. And our technology is proprietary technology that nobody else has. And we even have products that nobody else has, and we're going to touch on them here. So we opened up our stores in Cyprus, in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, and we're opening up Berlin, Germany shortly, Paris, France, London, England, Madrid, Spain, Barcelona, Spain, and then we're going into the Benelux countries, which is Belgium, the rest of the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. And when you consider us and what makes us stand out of the stores, it's the fact that we, Miracle Cash and More, own our own exchange. We own our own stablecoin. We do more than anybody else does. You can see by all the checks that we have there. We check all the boxes, and all the big boys. And by the way, there's over 500 crypto exchanges, most of them operating in the gray area. They're not doing what we're doing. We only open up a country and put a store in a country where we're fully licensed, regulated, and meet all the laws of that country. We're doing things right. And so people could feel safe in that. They could see that they have a store that they could go to. They can even pick up the phone and call somebody. All these others operate, in the blind. When you can't talk to anybody, there's no store to go to. You don't even know where they're located. It's all taking a leap of faith, blind faith. And what happens? Some big name players get sucked in and lose millions and even hundreds of millions of dollars when one of these deals collapses. Well, we're looking to do it the right way. We're looking to actually be the company. And by the way, the laws just keep getting written. So that more and more people are getting engaged, more and more people. I heard the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, talking about the future of cryptocurrency. When you got the biggest names in the world talking about the legitimacy of the industry, when Warren Buffett invests $1 billion like he did last year in a Brazilian bank that is adding cryptocurrency as one of its products, you realize this is for real. But it's going to be like the dot-com boom and the dot-com bust. We've gone through, in 2021, we went through this crypto boom, and we're about to go through the crypto bust. And a lot of these companies are being shut down because they're operating illegally. We are not. We're going to emerge as the deal that's out there. And if you see that, you recognize that, like Carlos does, and I do, and Melanie does, and Cecilia does, man, you're going to get really excited about what we have here. So let's move forward. We have 9 different delivery channels. We have physical stores. We have automatic vending machines. We have electronic terminals. We have a virtual point of sale, meaning if a person has a website and they sell anything on the web and they're collecting by credit card right now, we could hook them up and they could start accepting cryptocurrency as a form of payment. We have website. We have Miracle with installments, Miracle Home, Miracle Deal, Miracle with installments for business. And we'll talk about those and some of them later on, but I just want to take a look at what makes sense to people. Everybody knows what a store is, right? So our store is connected to our exchange. And in the United Kingdom, and again, we're talking about the United Kingdom, in 2021, there was $170 billion worth of transactional volume. So with everything we're bringing into the marketplace, we believe we captured 10% of that market. And we believe we can accomplish that in a year's time from opening. So the stores aren't open there yet. You're looking at it, you know, pre-stores open, pre-transaction. We'll probably do our first transactions either later on this quarter or in the second quarter of this year. And then a year from then, we expect within our first year to capture 10% of the market. So what does that mean? Well, 10% of 770 billion would be 17 billion. And we, on the low end, our transactional fees are 1%. Some of our products, like our next product we're going to look at, the AVM, is 6%. But let's just look at 1%. 1% of that 17 billion is 170 million. Cashflow NFT gets 75% of that, splits that in half with the memberships, and each membership in that first year, based on that volume and those numbers, would be over $40,000. So just imagine that. Just imagine, you know, joining a cool club that had a one-time fee of $5,000 to join, and you get to participate in the revenue, producing a residual income that pays out, by the way, on a quarterly basis. And if it brought back 40,000 in the first year, oh my goodness, what an incredible, right there we could go, man, that was a win. That was it. Matter of fact, you'll be telling that story. What is 40,000 to 5,000? You know, that's 20xing it, right? I mean, that's amazing, you know, to get a 20x return. And but it's not a business. All it is a membership that has these benefits, one of which is the revenue from these product verticals or product delivery channels, if you may. And so everybody knows what that is. So let's move on. Automatic vending machines. You know what this is. An ATM. What's an ATM? You know what ATMs are all over the place now. Well, our AVMs allow people to put in fiat currency and buy cryptocurrency up to 1,000 coins. They also could access their crypto and take out fiat currency. So it's a two-way machine. We're going to put out over 1,000 in our first 3 months based on $500 of transactional volume on average, with 5 transactions a day at a 6% fee. These are the numbers we'd be looking at. And each one of our memberships in this scenario would receive over $10,000. How about electronic terminals? Think about everywhere you go, whether it's a supermarket or a food store, or wherever you go, where you just use your credit card or debit card and you swipe or you tap or you chip. Well, now people could go, hey, it could be MasterCard, Visa card, American Express, or if you want to pay in crypto, we can do that too. And people are going to go, what? I can pay in crypto? Yeah, I can pay in crypto. And then people are going to start utilizing these devices, and we earn on every transaction. This is what I want you to think about. Think about earning on every transaction. Man, when I was younger, when I was newlywed in my 20s, and I used to drive over the Verrazano Bridge going from Staten Island, New York to Brooklyn, New York, and I used to dream, if I could just get $1 per car that goes over this bridge every day, I'd be wealthy, I'd be rich, you know. And just getting a little of something. It's kind of like, you know, when you buy into a McDonald's franchise, you know, what would you rather have, the profits from one franchise, or would you rather have a little bit from every transaction that happens in all the franchises all over the world? Imagine if you could be involved in every transaction that happens in the entire United Kingdom and get a little piece of that. That's exactly what we're talking about here. So these numbers that you're looking at are just hypothetical guesses, but in the locations, with 10,000 locations out there, you know, it could easily produce over 20,000 income with 20,000 units, with 40,000 units. We're talking 46, 92,000. Imagine just owning, you know, a membership that pays out a quarter residual on all the stores and all the transactions all over the United Kingdom. That's what we're talking about here. And those are just 3 of the 9 delivery channels. We're not even going to pontificate on the others, but they're amazing too also. When we figured out, you know, easily year 1, you know, can be over 100,000. And as we grow, we're anticipating growing by at least 100% a year. As we grow, year 2, over 200,000, year 3, over 500,000, year 4, over $1 million. So imagine if that actually happened for you. Now, I'm going to put not only a disclaimer here, but I'm going to put out a little story that I tell all the time. And I really should have the book by my hand, and I'm going to do it. It's on my shelf over there. It's called The Everything Store. It's all about Jeff Bezos and Amazon and how it got started. And in that book, Jeff Bezos talks about how when he first started, his parents wanted to invest in his business. They had $100,000 to invest, and he told them no. He said 70% chance we're going to fail. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, 70% chance we're going to fail is what he said. Well, they insisted, they invested, and they're multi-billionaires today. So we're at a point in time, hey, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's rolling the dice. I mean, if I was to give you an honest assertion, I know a lot of things can happen. A lot of stuff can happen in the marketplace. I mean, look what just happened with COVID and, and the control, in my opinion, the overreach of governmental agencies all over the world in controlling people. We don't know what's going to happen for sure, but I look at it and go, man, this is at least a 50-50 deal. Matter of fact, I think what this company has the greatest chance of anything I've ever seen in leading the way of bringing crypto to the world. And so for that reason, I'm all in. So look at the year 4 profit. What Ray had told me was, he says, Ed, we're looking to sell it after year 4 or in year 4 for more than 10 times earnings. We think the valuation could come in at 10 times, 20 times, 30 times earnings. And when that happens, you have to sell your membership too as part of the deal, but you will get more than 10 times earnings. And so we were looking at over $10 million. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I said, Ray, I'll jump on a plane tomorrow and come there. And 6 days later, I was in Northern Cyprus because I wanted to find out everything I possibly could about this company, the people behind it, how it operated. And I want to tell you, I'm all in. I'm absolutely all in. I love this thing. I go to bed. I can't wait to tell people about this. This is fun. What I'm doing right now is fun. I'm sharing a picture that I believe can potentially totally change the lives of anybody who gets involved and buys a membership or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or whatever they choose to, right? Because you're not restricted to just one. There's 1,488, over 1,200 are spoken for already. So if you want one, you want to jump on this thing fast. And in the process, you become a member of the Boogie Gopher Club. You get yourself a Boogie NFT, which is, by the way, tied to with smart contracts, everything that we're talking about. That's where the money comes in and the revenue comes in. So that, you can imagine, will be incredibly saleable. Those Bored Apes last year in 2022, they were selling for over $400,000. Eminem bought one for $460,000. They started out at $100. We don't know what the Boogie Gopher is going to be worth, but it's kind of fun to be part of a club where we could travel the world, have fun, make money, help other people, give back, and whatever it is that you want to engage in to really make this world a better place to live in. That's part of our goal as being part of the community here. And when you do that and you share it with others, the company pays 10% on your first generation, meaning if you refer this to somebody and they make a purchase, you make 10% of their purchase. And if they refer it to somebody, you can make 5% of those purchases, which are your second level. This is not multi-level marketing. This is affiliate marketing. And that's it. That's basically, if you want to treat this like a business and start earning hundreds or thousands of dollars a month, or even tens of thousands is possible, and some people do, you could do this by just selling and representing this model and sharing it with people. And you're